What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and another episode of Answer Me Dammit! Where I take your questions and pretend like I know stuff. But before I get into it, I wanted to quickly remind you guys of the high quality shirts and hoodies that I've been selling in the Awesome Sauce merch store. As I mentioned before, everything there is made by the same folks that Tech Syndicate uses for all of their stuff on epicpants.com. That means lightweight combed cotton jersey fabric shirts, super soft rayon based hoodies, and a bunch of other specs that make these garments truly a cut above most other wearables out there. I'd also like to say that every penny spent in the merch store goes right back into the channel in the form of things like better video equipment, drugs, and travel expenses to cover the events you want to see. So buying something from the merch store is really the best way that you guys can help support Awesome Sauce Network because you're inevitably gifting yourself better content. Not to mention the shirt. So cruise on over to awesomesaucenetwork.com/store and pick up a damn torso chassis while you're at it. I have yet to run into anyone wearing an Awesome Sauce shirt, but the day I do, I'm gonna fangirl out on myself. I might actually chase you. Now with the shirts and hoodies off my chest, our first question comes from Sandeep, who asks, what's the best RAM to use for editing videos? 1600 megahertz? 24 megahertz? So from my experience with video editing, having more memory capacity has always been more effective than having higher memory speeds. I've noticed over the years that encoding times don't rely as heavily on whether my kit is clocked at 1600 or 2400, but rather if I have 4 gigs of RAM versus 16. The fact that I also run other applications while rendering makes it worthwhile to have enough memory to handle my habitual multitasking. If your render time seems sluggish, check the Performance tab in Task Manager to see how much memory is being used. If you're using more than, I would say, 85%, you might want to consider upgrading or expanding your capacity. But if your RAM isn't being maxed out, your slow render times might be due to an older component in your system, like a CPU or video card or hard drive. For that reason, you should also check the performance usage of your other components while rendering. You should also double check the recommended system requirements for your editing software. If everything still checks out, make sure you don't have any viruses or malware in the background that might be causing performance issues. Digital Parasite asks, Mac or Alienware? Come on guys, I'm supposed to tell the jokes here. If PC gaming was magically no longer possible, which console would you choose to use for the rest of your days? Now I've always said that if I were to buy a console assuming that I'd still have my PC on hand, that I'd opt for a Wii U because it has titles like Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart 8 that really offer a unique gameplay experience that you can't always find on a PC. On the other hand, if Lord Gaben died from anorexia or something and took PC gaming down with him, I think I'd have to buy a PS4 to satisfy my multiplayer FPS cravings. I've also heard good things about the game library on PlayStation Plus, not to mention I prefer the weight and comfort of the PS4 controller to the Xbox One. This is a thought-provoking question though, so what do you guys think? What console would you pick if PC gaming wasn't around? What keyboard do you recommend for gaming? I don't want a million extra buttons though. The first mechanical keyboard that I would recommend when it comes to PC gaming is the one that I use every day, the Corsair K70. It has all the essential features I need and none of the gimmicky features I don't. Windows lock key, USB 2 pass-through, and a 10-key number pad. I like the fact that it has a volume wheel instead of up and down buttons, and no macro keys on the board means a slimmer profile for my smaller than average desk. The aluminum frame also seems tough enough to withstand the daily beatdown I give it for years to come. If you're looking for something more portable that's good for travel, I would check out the Cooler Master Quickfire Rapid Eye. It has a super slim profile, brightly illuminated keys, and the build quality is really top notch. Now it does have a removable USB cable, which I know doesn't rest well with some of you, but at the very least, the cable has a right angle micro USB connector to keep it from bending and potentially wearing out that connection. What would you recommend to upgrade graphics performance on a mid-range graphics card, such as an R9 270X? Go SLI or Crossfire, or just buy a better card. Now assuming you're gaming on a single 1080 display, since most of us are, it's kinda hard to justify getting a second 270X unless you plan on custom water cooling your cards. And if that's the case, you should also consider upgrading your monitor solution to really take advantage of that added horsepower. But if you're not water cooling, I'd suggest saving up some money and getting a single high-end video card instead. The benefits of having a single card include less power consumption, less heat, and consistent performance, because not all games are optimized equally for multi-GPU setups, and seeing great scalability in one game might be followed by poor scalability in another. For these reasons, and probably several others, I'd probably sell my 270X and put the money towards a single high-end card from Team Red or Team Green. And those are all the questions I'm prepared to answer today, so if you have a new question for me, be sure to post it in the comments below. Also check out awesomesaucenetwork.com/store for those shirts. And just for fun, the first person to tweet me a picture of themselves wearing an Awesome Sauce article of clothing will be honored as January 2015's Awesome Sauce Fan of the Month. I don't even know what that means. Should we make that a thing? I'm gonna sleep on it, but I might make that a thing. As always, thank you guys for watching, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see y'all in the next video.